Okay, it has been a weird Friday. Imagine going on a great book haul, having a backpack full of books that you didn't have at the start of the day, coming home, walking in to the lobby of your apartment building, and seeing two packages full of books with your name on it, just waiting for you there. That was my experience because somebody extremely generously, in an overwhelming display of generosity, reached out to me through email and offered me some books. First, they started out by sending me a picture of the books that they were offering and saying, "Do you want any of these?" And I was like, "Yeah, I definitely want some of those." So I sent back a list of things that I wanted, and they said, "Great, I'll send them over." And I was like, "Really? You're just gonna do that?" And they were like, "Yep, I'll just do that." And then they followed that up with an email that said, "Okay, went to the post office, dropped them off, but I also threw in a couple of other things that I thought you might be interested in." And I was like, "That's amazing! I can't believe it." And then two massive boxes showed up. I don't want to hold both up for the camera, but I mean, big boxes. There's another one just like this underneath it, heavy as hell, filled with books. I cannot express how amazing that is. Thank you to the person who sent it. Obviously, I'm going to follow up with an email, but just incredible. My own book giveaway is going all right. It dwarfs in comparison to this. I've been able to give away a lot of books through email, which I really appreciate. I, of course, forgot to grab the book that I'm going to give away for this video. I am scanning my bookshelf. Let me go grab it. Hang on. Okay. Let's do Frankenstein. I've got this Penguin classic of Frankenstein. Love Frankenstein, and this is the first version that I read. I think I started out reading. Yes, this was the first one. I saw this in a bookstore and grabbed it and then read it, and it was like, wow, Frankenstein really is as good as people say it is. So this is on offer. If you want it, let me know. I will send it to you. But anyway, let's get to the main event. These two boxes here, full of books. Genuinely, I have no idea what is in these boxes except for 3 books that I selected based on the photo that was sent to me. So I have no idea what I'm about to encounter here. This is insanely exciting. Okay, packaged extremely well. Jeez, these books are with the paper and everything. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Look, first of all, you can't make fun of me if I don't know what one of these books is, all right? If I can't identify off the top of my head what a book is, you can't make fun of me for it, all right? Sometimes I don't know things. Sometimes I'm a little slow. Okay, we'll start off with Ever Since Darwin, Stephen Jay Gould. I knew this was going to be in here. This was one of the ones that I asked for because I'm a big Stephen Jay Gould fan, as anyone who's watched this channel before knows. And this was on offer, so I was like, absolutely, I'd love that. And it's in perfect condition. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, then we have this. I don't know what this is. Consilience, the Unity of Knowledge, Edward O. Wilson. I don't know what this is. It looks very cool, and it says it's science. Ooh. Okay, we'll look into this. It says national bestseller. Interesting. Never heard of it. Very cool, though. That's awesome. Great condition. Put out by Vintage. Okay. Next, we've got The Pinball Effect, How Renaissance Water Gardens Made the Carburetor Possible. Wow. Okay. The Pinball Effect and Other Journeys Through Knowledge. James Burke. Wow. How interesting. Back Bay Books. Okay, so there's going to be a science theme in this, a science and math theme, I'm pretty sure we've discovered. Or maybe just in this section. There are 2 boxes here. I cannot believe how many books are in here. This video is going to go forever. Oh my gosh, I just saw this in my local used bookstore. I'm glad I didn't get it. This is Bill Bryson, A Short History of Nearly Everything. That's so funny. I'm so glad I didn't get that. We've got, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is, but this is amazing. I have no idea what this is, but my goodness, what an addition. Okay, this is The Axe Maker's Gift. A Double-Edged History of Human Culture by James Burke. Okay, we've got James Burke twice. And Robert Ornstein. Ornstein? Oh, look at this cover. Look at with the man and the axe. This is amazing. I feel like everybody at home is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he doesn't recognize these books. Well, I do recognize some of these, but okay. I have I have Landed by Stephen Jay Gould. This was the other one that I jumped at. How awesome is that? The beginning, the end of a beginning in natural history. So that's great. Okay, this was the other one I asked for. Awesome. This is Charles Friedman, The Greek Achievement, The Foundation of the Western World. I've read Charles Friedman's The Closing of the Western Mind, which was awesome. It was a great, great book. What a wonderful book, I thought. And so I saw this, and I definitely wanted it. And then I believe he just came out relatively recently with the reopening of the Western Mind, which I saw in a Barnes and Noble actually, and it was so strange because it was $50, which is like, whoa, that's a lot, and it was filled with art, filled with it, and all the pages were glossy. It looked amazing, but I wasn't about to drop $50 on a brand new hardcover, but that is on my reading list. I do want to experience that. But anyway, we'll do this first, and then we'll get to the reopening of the Western Mind at some point. Oh my goodness, what is this? The Shaping of America, a geographical perspective on 500 years of history. Volume 3, Transcontinental America, 1850 to 1915. By D.W. Ming? I don't know. I don't know what this is. This is Yale, though. It's volume 3 of whatever Transcontinental America is. Okay. No problem. No problem. Okay, so what is this? What is this? Praise for the series. The Shaping of America series is evolving into a modern-day classic in American historical geography. Volumes 1 and 2 are must for historians seeking to expand their geographic understanding and perspective on large-scale historical trends. In this third of 4 volumes in a series acclaimed by both historians and geographers for its groundbreaking scope and originality, D.W. Ming continues his riveting account of America's interwoven history and geography, describing the expanding country's development from the mid-19th century to 1915. To accompany his interpretation of America's geographic evolution, Ming offers 40 superb new maps and 44 other illustrations. Each original map enhances our historical understanding of patterns, features, and themes of American history. Okay, I'm still as confused as I was at the beginning, but this is cool. I mean, it's put out by Yale. Stay tuned. I have some Yale news coming up as well. But okay, so that was box 1. Amazing. Box 1 is done. Let's go on to box 2. Now, box 2 was even heavier than box 1. So if that's any indication, there will be even more stuff in this, which is insane. Okay. Oh my, what is this? Oh my. Annals of the Former World by John McPhee. Look how big this is. Oh my goodness. What is this? 20 years ago, when John McPhee began his journeys back and forth across the United States, he planned to describe a cross-section of North America at about the 40th parallel and, in the process, come to an understanding not only of the science but of the style of the geologists he traveled with. The structural arrangement of the book never changed, but its breadth caused him to complete it in stages under the overall title, Annals of the Former World. In Basin and Range, McPhee traverses the Basin and Range province from Utah to Eastern California, accompanied by Kenneth S. DeFries, a professor of geology, who has done extensive field work in Nevada. Okay, so it looks like this is a collection of separate pieces put into one. Yeah, book 1, Basin and Range. Book 2, In Suspect Terrain. How cool. Amazing. Okay. This looks like it's a little bit more negotiable. This is great. Fantastic. John McPhee. All right. Let's keep going. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, that's great. Wow. The Oxford Companion to Classical Civilization. Look at that. That's amazing. Okay. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So I have, well, it's under 1 million things now, but I have the one put out by Anthony Grafton. This is so cool. What's that one called? The Classical Tradition. And that is amazing. Okay, this is wonderful. Wow, I'm so glad to have both of those. Those will go so well together. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. Okay, so Longitude, the true story of a lone genius who solved the greatest scientific problem of his time, by Dava Sobol. Here's the cover, by the way. I forgot to show that. Anyone alive in the 18th century would have known that the longitude problem was the thorniest scientific dilemma of the day and had been for centuries. Lacking the ability to measure their longitude, sailors throughout the great ages of exploration had been literally lost at sea as soon as they lost sight of land. Thousands of lives and the increasing fortunes of nations hung on a resolution. The quest for a solution had occupied scientists and their patrons for the better part of 2 centuries when, in 1714, England's Parliament upped the ante by offering a king's ransom. Wow. 20,000 pounds, or approximately 12 million in today's currency, which, not even today's currency. When did this come out? 12 million in 1995. Okay. Yeah. So even more than that. To anyone whose method or device proved useful. Countless quacks weighed in with preposterous suggestions. The scientific establishment throughout Europe, from Galileo to Sir Isaac Newton, had mapped the heavens in both hemispheres in its certain pursuit of a celestial answer. In stark contrast, one man, John Harrison, dared to imagine a mechanical solution, a clock that would keep precise time at sea, something no clock, something no clock had ever been able to do on land. The Longitude is the dramatic human story of an epic scientific quest and of Harrison's 40-year obsession with building his perfect timekeeper, known today as the chronometer. Yeah, so, okay. Full of heroism and chicanery, brilliance, and the absurd, it is also a fascinating brief history of astronomy, navigation, and clockmaking. Amazing. Okay, I love how big this is. This is a tiny little thing. Okay, then we have City Life. From the architect and social historian who changed the way we look at houses in Home, The Short History of an Idea, comes an elegant, provocative exploration of the world outside our walls and of the fascinating, revelatory history of American city life, with marvelous detail about such cities as Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Montreal, Washington, Savannah, Boston, New Orleans, and Charleston. This is an inspired, engrossing book by an unerring, lucid writer. Okay, actually, this is looking like a book that I will read very soon. All right, then we have A Clearing in the Distance. Is this by the same person? By the same person. Okay. Frederick Law Olmsted and America in the 17th century. In a brilliant collaboration between writer and subject, Whithold, the bestseller of Home and City Life, illustrate illustrates Frederick Law Olmsted's role as a major cultural figure at the epicenter of 19th century American history. We know Olmsted through the physical legacy of his stunning landscapes, among them New York's Central Park, California's Stanford University campus, and Boston's Back Bay Fens. But Olmsted's contemporaries knew a man of even more extraordinarily diverse talents. Born in 1822, he traveled to China on a merchant ship at the age of 21. He confounded The Nation magazine and was an early voice against slavery. He managed California's largest gold mine and, during the Civil War, served as the executive secretary to the United States Sanitary Commission, the precursor of the Red Cross. Rabinsky's passion for his subject and his understanding of Olmsted's immense complexity and accomplishments make his book a triumphant work. In A Clearinghouse, the story of a great 19th century American becomes an intellectual adventure. Okay, well, so awesome. And then we have, oh yes, this is great. Oh, I'm so glad he sent this. It's so nice. This is 8 Italian Masters, and it is this beautiful, just filled with, and I actually flipped, this is the unfinished Pietà by Michelangelo, actually. The one where he had to cut Jesus' leg off. I don't know if you can see. Jesus only has one leg, poor guy. But that one was not finished. Oh, and this is apparently a self-portrait, by the way. The noble Joseph, I believe, is who that is. But it's also a self-portrait of Michelangelo. Fantastic. Look at how nice this is. I mean, just so many amazing color reproductions in here. How awesome is that? Amazing. Okay, well, that's awesome. Okay, and then this is our last book. We have... It's an oversized thing. Look at that. The Atlas of Literature, a unique account of literature through the ages and across the continents. We've got a picture of Virginia Woolf on the cover. That's always nice. Look at that. Big oversized thing. This is nice. Let's look at our table of contents. I'll read the inside flap. The Atlas of Literature explores the fascinating connection between writers and place. Okay. This ambitious and exciting book focuses on writers and works that are intimately bound up with the place and time, capturing a town, a city, a region in its literary heyday. So I'm assuming Joyce, for example, is going to be in this. Throughout the 80 essays, the Atlas looks at scores of cities, regions, and countries all over the world that have been immortalized in literature or through their association with writers who lived there. Here are Stratford and London in Shakespeare's day, Cervantes' Spain, the world of the lake poets, Washington Irving's Europe, nice, Fenimore Cooper's Frontier, Hawthorne's New England, cool, Dickens's London, Balzac's Paris, Kafka's Prague, Joyce's Dublin, Paris in the 20s, Bloomsbury, nice, Harlem, Hollywood, Broadway, and many, many others through to the present day. The maps are a major feature of this book. Love me a good map. Locating key towns and cities, plotting real and fictional journeys and landscapes, and showing the cafes, theaters, and homes where legendary authors lived, worked, and congregated. These are supplemented by copious period writings, photographs, and illustrations of hundreds of people and places, written in a vivid, approachable style by an international team of literary biographers, novelists, and scholars under the general editorship of Malcolm Bradbury, who has himself contributed many of the essays in this book. The Atlas of Literature is a marvelously entertaining companion for the general reader and an important and invaluable work of background and reference for the student of literature. Okay. Oh, Dante's World. That's how it opens. Fantastic. I'll read this for for Dante, because I am going to be. And then Chaucer's England. Fantastic. Look at that. What a great place to start. Does it have Boccaccio in here? No. We then go to Montaigne, Cervantes, Shakespeare's Stratford. Oh, nice. We've got France and the Enlightenment. All right. Mark Twain's Mississippi. There we go. Okay. Well, I'll stop myself here. But wow. Thank you so much to the person who sent me this. This is an unbelievably great, unbelievably generous thing to do. I have more books than I know what to do with, especially after this book haul that I just went on. I need to give away more books. Let's give away a special book for those who have made it all the way to the end of the video. Okay, this might be suitably special. This is Satin Tango by Laszlo Krishnahorkai. I had a really interesting time with this book. If you like experimental literature, you might really enjoy this. This is great. This was put out by New Directions Publishing, and so they always come through with these cool looking editions of things. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna cut it there. I'm gonna have to process. There's so much stuff around me I can barely move. But that's it for me today, and I will follow up soon with this book haul that I just went on because it was one for the books.